Cool. So it'll jump into my starting screen. So if I have started the stream now, but it's it'll, like I say. Sound. We are live. Cool.
Okay.
You ready for take 2?
Yes, that was funny. That was fun.
Oh, hey, we have put people straight in the stream. There we go.
Yep.
So for people who don't know, this is take 2 of the stream because Dickhead over here forgot to turn on the audio stream for Dav, so no one could hear him. So it was a wonderful interview, but unfortunately no one knows what he said. So we're going to have another go.
So rich. Exactly. So rich with a lot of secret lore that nobody will ever hear.
Exactly.
No, I'm kidding.
Exactly that.
We're gonna do it. We're just gonna go again. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great.
Obviously, if there are any issues, people let me know in the chat because, yeah, well, we'll see. We'll see. Well, that's all good. Right.
Absolutely.
So, obviously, here to talk about Mammoth Factory's new Kickstarter, which is Dark Descent, which is live on Kickstarter right now. And it's off to an absolute banging start. It's 75,000 UK pounds, or it's about just over 100k dollars, isn't it?
Yeah. We just hit the 100K mark.
Yeah, absolutely amazing.
Which is
Absolutely
amazing.
amazing. So,
Yes.
to put that in perspective, that is, and I don't want to jinx it, it sounds like it's going to be one of your best Kickstarters ever. Fingers crossed.
Yeah. I mean, our last Kickstarters were around 135K before late pledges and all that kind of thing. So yeah, I mean, the fact that we're already hitting 100 in 3 days, that's fantastic. I think we did 70K in 24 hours. So that was great. So definitely excited, very grateful. And it feels like the community is responding really well. And we one of the best things we did this time was that we made things a lot clearer, and we were like, oh, STLs are just a small part of the D&D world. So we're going to put all the STLs in the corner at the bottom. And if people want STLs, they're all there. You can go check them out. They're awesome. But like most D&D people don't have a 3D printer actually. So
Madness.
it kind of
Madness.
serves both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're going to buy a 3D printer, use my affiliate link. Wink, wink.
But there you go. Ding, ding. I like it.
You said you've got an office sweepstake as well about who's going to get the right total on the Kickstarter.
Oh, yeah, exactly. So we did an internal kind of guessing game of like how much do we think we're gonna make, and I think I probably bet too low. I said that I was hoping that we'll make around 180K, but maybe that's still the case. Maybe we'll make less than that. I would absolutely be fine with that, of course. But some people were like, $1 million. And I'm like, guys, what the fuck are you
Nice.
talking
Nice.
about?
I love the optimism.
Not in this economy, right? But hey, who knows? I mean, we are going to be featured on Kickstarter's front page on the 1st. That's going to be huge, and that could snowball. So, sky's the limit. I believe that people like D&D, if they see this campaign, they would like it because
Yeah.
it's good.
The more I've looked at it,
It's
the
kinda
deeper and deeper it goes. And we'll dive into that in just a second. I didn't ask this last time around actually. When you're going into a Kickstarter project, do you have any idea? I mean, you obviously have a sort of a minimum pledge amount. You need your 15k goal to get people through the gate, obviously. But I mean, do you have a minimum amount you need in order to make this? Do you know the budget beforehand?
We know quite a lot. There are variations, like there's different levels of success or failure. Um, I guess obviously you set a goal to the absolute minimum to do the thing. That's what you do. That's what the goal that you're aiming for. So for us, it was 20K. We knew that if we don't even make 20K, we're not gonna go for the campaign. We're just not gonna. We're gonna pause, relaunch it, redo it. It means we didn't do the launch properly, basically. Definitely with our 30,000 subscribers on our newsletters list, right? Like that shouldn't be the case that we don't make 20K. It means the pricing is wrong or the marketing is wrong or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we plan for success, we plan for failure, and different multiple tiers. It's all kind of like, I think it's gonna be this, kind of. You do get some ideas from like doing some polls. With in our case, we have Patreon, so we're lucky in that way. You do get the ability to get people to pre-sign up to the Kickstarter, which is huge, huge, huge. Anybody ever running a Kickstarter, make a campaign page today. If you're gonna do a campaign in 3 years from now, start today. Just go make a Kickstarter page, make a name, and make a graphic, and just start collecting those pre-campaign backers. Because why not start? It's just one graphic and a name. That's easy, and you can also change those later.
Yeah, yeah,
So
exactly. So,
absolutely, that was quite a big deal, and we reached I think 1,500 pre-followers, pre-campaign followers. And we had
okay.
these pre-campaign follower stretch goals. So every 200 followers, there was another STL that's being unlocked. So there were 7 STLs that we unlocked pre-campaign, and they're not gonna get the rest because the other ones are not the stretch goals because the campaign is not focused on STLs. But I guess if we make more than 200,000, maybe we'll do those. Yeah, who knows? Maybe.
Yeah, that's madness. Absolute madness. It's like saying that's what is it? Prior planning affects prevents poor performance or something like that, isn't it? That's the little nerdy slogan.
Absolutely. You need to plan for success and you need to plan for failure.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah, exactly. So I'm going to play the video in the background. I'm going to turn the audio off and we'll just chat over the top of it. But I thought it's keeps it more interesting on the screen.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I don't know if it should we still chat or
Yeah,
should I
definitely.
should I
Let's
shut
still
up?
chat. I mean, I'm
Oh,
actually
okay, cool.
I love the artwork behind this. I like so the. Do you have specific artists do the graphic for this sort of stuff, or is it the same artists who are doing the line workers who are doing the animation type stuff?
Oh, no, no, no. So making a video like this, you would not believe the amount of work it takes. It's 3 months of scripts and revision and
Is it
product
really?
research.
Wow.
To do 1 minute like this, forget the art. Like the art you have to do anyway, and it seems like the hardest bit, and it is the hardest bit from the perspective of like you already need to have the story, you already need to have the concept art, you need to have. But getting it to be an effective Kickstarter video is a whole process on its own. The guy who made the video for us is a Kickstarter video specific expert. Um, and he's just done such a fantastic job of understanding the product and understanding what problem the product solves, you know?
Yeah. Wow.
He's just such a master at it. It was a lot of work for him, and we did a lot of new art for the video, and then, he got a AAA voice actor to do the voice acting for this, and then the animation of the art is just next level. It just looks so cool.
It looks
The
really
first
cool.
time I saw it, I was like, oh my God, this is a product we made? No way. That
That's
was
so
so
cool.
cool. Like
That's
a little child,
that's got to be
honestly. And
absolutely
then I
amazing though.
show it
Putting your
to
own
some friends.
bring in something that's been in, like I say, it's one of your one of the founders has been writing this campaign for 20 years, hasn't he? So it's just so
15
it's
to 20 years. Yeah,
15 to
yeah.
20 years. So it's just been to bring something that's been trapped in his head for that long into the real world. That's got to be a cool thing, though, isn't it?
Exactly. It's definitely a cool thing. And it's gone through, like, we've playtested it ourselves internally. The whole campaign has been playtested twice at least, if not more, I think maybe. And it was such a beautiful experience to bring such a passion project because he's a writer and he studied history as a master's in I don't remember exactly what his master's is about, but it's either research or history or archaeology or writing. It's all of that in a way. And he's just a brilliant writer. Daniel is my business partner, and there's also David, who is the head of the 3D department, is the amazing sculptor with the miniatures and all of that. That he used to work for DC and Marvel, doing kind of like collectibles and that sort of thing. That's why our minis are so awesome. Uh, so
And they
we
are,
we make
and
we
they
make
are.
a team together. It's like that me and Daniel kind of alternate stories. So the last Kickstarter was kind of more my story, and this Kickstarter is more his story, and there are different worlds for each thing. But we work on everything together, and we have a bunch of other writers and artists obviously, and it's a big team of passionate nerds
Yeah,
working together
I
to
think what
bring
it was a
the
big
best thing
surprise
we
to
can
me
do.
that sort of how deep all this sort of stuff goes. I mean, because I found you guys because the sort of the love for 3D printing, STLs, painting miniatures, all this sort of stuff, and you've supported some of the stuff that's gone behind in the Patreon for my guys. So several of the guys in the chat at the moment are patrons and backers, and have printed your models and they've enjoyed them and that sort of stuff. But seeing all the other layers behind it has been really cool too. So it's just do you want to sort of?
Oh, you should show your Discord. I don't know if you have that ability to show your Discord in some of the
Oh
things
well, I
people
tell
have
you
painted.
what, rather than cocking things up and like having another little IT adventure,
No,
I think I'm
yeah,
going to
true.
say the Discord's linked down below. So go and check out the link, and it's a free
I'll check it
Discord. You
out.
can absolutely join into it. Um,
Loads
yeah,
of great minis and STLs and painters. It's a actually really impressive community.
yeah,
Really
exactly.
great.
It's a really cool, safe, fun space. It's like not too many dickheads. It's all good, man. It's all good. In fact, I don't think there's
And it's
anyone.
nice because like you give an STL and then everybody paints the same thing and then
Yeah.
everybody kind of like has different takes on the same mini. It's awesome.
No,
I
it's
really
really
think you
fun.
did a
So
great job.
we do a monthly painting challenge. So we've got one at the moment where we're teamed up with the Get Good server, and so we've got an exclusive bust that we're distributing, and sending all over the world. And I think there's something like 50 or 60 people painting the same busts now, and it's really
Awesome.
cool. It's fun. Yeah, and like I said, I've got to judge it at the end of the month, and frankly, I don't want to because there's loads and rows of really, really good ones. So,
I realized that because we're doing a repeat, people don't actually know what Dark Descent is. So
yeah,
maybe
so
I should.
I was going to say we're going to jump into the campaign now. I promise we'll talk about it.
Right.
Not just going to be like
Okay.
a chat.
Nice.
So yeah, indeed. So yeah, lots of people are coming on there saying they love the Discord too. So Dark Descent. Let's dive into it. So talk about the pledges very quickly first. Obviously, it starts with a $1 dragon pledge, but that's a really cool touch. Usually, it's like a thank for supporting us type pledge. We'll just take your dollar and disappear into the distance. So for this one, you get a massive, really impressive dragon that you can take home and print, which is fun. So that's a nice touch. Thank you for that. Do you want to run through some of the other pledges as well? Because you were saying the most popular pledge is the all-in pledge, which is
Yes, the all-in pledge is surprisingly very, very popular. I think it's because we have this like kind of first 150 people get a big discount on it, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, people just really, really like everything in it, I guess, or they start to look at the pledges and it just makes more sense for them, especially because the all-in has 40 huge battle maps, the printed battle maps. It's a 22 by 33 inch battle maps. Fully printed, which is all the battle maps you'll need for the campaign, and they're just so pretty. There's actually, if you go to the early access downloads section, do you see on the left there, just above my name, there's early access downloads. If you click on that, then you can go to the folder and you can show actually some of the battle maps. Do you see that area?
I do.
I'm looking at the stream, so I see things in delay. So I'm not sure what you're looking at exactly.
There we go. So yeah, we've got new races, Beastkin Brew, and then Ruins of Dandral, DM version annotated. Oh, you've got DM specific versions of the maps as well.
Yeah. We have like that tells you like the different heights and the like patrol route and like things to look out for and like where you should position the monsters, and then you have obviously the gridded one. So this is the digital, like that's what's within the PDF. It gives you quite a lot of information.
There's a digital and a physical version of both of these things, isn't there? So it's just a
Yeah, exactly. So that's within the book, and that's outside of the book, either digitally or physical. If you do the all-in tier, then you get the physical ones. And they're just great maps. I mean, you can click open one of them, and they're just beautiful, beautiful. They're done with one of our cartographer, who is just fantastic.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, we're very, very proud of these, and we've playtested all of these. We know they work. They're just great combat maps,
How long do the campaigns take? Just out of interest.
It's a good question. So this campaign you start actually at 5th level because it's a pretty tricky campaign, and it goes up to like level 12, 13, something like that, 14, depends. We playtested it once with 3 players and once with 5 players, so you can really, it depends how you give the magic items or how many you can scale things. DMs are DMs. You need to balance it in your head in the end. I think it's optimized for 5, and apologies. And basically, I think so. There are 6 main arcs in the campaign, maybe including, and each arc is like 6 to 8 sessions of gameplay. So basically, you have a year to 2 years of gameplay if you play weekly. It's like it's a pretty
That
substantial.
sounds
I think
so
we played it in a
several
year.
decades if you play D&D like me. That's fine. Yeah.
Exactly. No, I mean with all the shenanigans and the in between things, realistically you can definitely play it within a year.
Okay.
Depends how much do they go for the main thing, or do they get distracted with side quests and all of that
Yeah.
stuff.
Well, that's exactly the way
Um,
I play D&D. Wait for the DM to spend loads of time writing something, then bin it in the first 10 seconds, then do something else. Yeah.
exactly, exactly.
So it's
Um,
so yeah, like I say, so we've got the tiers, we've got the
mhm,
let's whiz down and have a look at the all-in pledge. So the all-in pledge is books and STLs for all the different races. You've got dice,
mhm,
map packs, the DM
mhm,
screen, which actually we'll go back
mhm.
and where were the images of the DM screen, because there was some really cool
So
artwork with that, wasn't there?
if you go to a campaign of corruption, it's below that. Those are physical minis, by the way. The ones you're showing, these are physical minis. And on top of that, you get 200 STLs.
Ah,
You
wow,
get both.
okay.
But only the all-in tier gets the physical minis. You can get them as add-ons as well, if you prefer some of the other tiers. But yeah, so some of that art is hand-drawn because we don't have AI. We don't use AI. I mean, we have it, but we don't use it in the products at all because we don't believe that. We like art made by humans for humans, and we care about that. So yeah, you can see some of the literally hand-drawn physical art. That's the DM screen. We're so proud of that. It's the same artist who actually made the city map of Lowtown. Lowtown is this subterranean undercity of criminals, which is like the main hub of the campaign, this
Hmm.
subterranean exile campaign. But yeah, so it's the same artist who made this and made the maps. He's just fantastic.
Yeah, no, it's properly impressive. That
Mm.
I mean, I'm a bit of a sucker for a map. So the Lowtown map is yeah, proper cool, proper cool. I really like it. Let's say.
It's cool. It's the way the way I like to describe the style, people like try to kind of describe the style of this map, and I think it's kind of like Where's Waldo but dark fantasy.
Oh
Does
yeah,
that make
I see what
sense?
you're saying. Yeah, exactly that. It's,
You know, there's a
are
lot
you in
of
there somewhere
hidden
then?
little things. Ah, exactly. Yeah, there's some secret, like, Easter eggs and that. And the truth is that an inverse uh, ziggurat is really hard to show or to even explain. I remember when we were playing this
Yeah.
campaign without this map. Obviously, this map didn't exist then. And I remember the DM trying to explain to me, yes, there is this inverse ziggurat, and this place is on that floor, but on the inner part. And I'm like, where the fuck am I? Like, I don't
Yeah,
get
yeah,
it.
yeah.
But with this map, you can totally understand where things are, and it's really nice.
Sort of feels a bit like what am I trying to say? The Warhammer 40k Hive cities type stuff, where you sort of like
Interesting.
start off at the top and then go down and go down, and you end up in the slime at the bottom, sort of stuff.
Yeah, yeah, there's definitely some elements to that. There's a lot of mysteries because this city was actually a city by kind of the ancient civilization that occupied the subterranean area before, and it's basically uh, this whole civilization, this advanced ancient civilization, 6,000 years ago, I don't remember exactly the time, they disappeared without a trace for some mysterious reason. And they've left a lot of stuff, like all sorts of interesting rituals that you're not sure how to use, and all sorts of mega dungeons. And this is one of the cities that they left, and you're just not quite sure what's going on. It's been inhabited by all these criminals and factions. So it's because I should explain what the campaign is again, because I think we're getting confused with what was happening in the past interview and what wasn't.
Yeah, okay. So the campaign,
So
so if I go back to
yes,
the campaign of corruption on screen, and then we sort of like
yes.
whiz through what the campaign actually is. Yeah. Go for it.
Exactly. So the campaign is basically, or the campaign setting, I should say, because you don't have to play the campaign to. It's also just a setting guide, right? And a resource book. But the campaign is the whole campaign is subterranean. You're exiles. You're all criminals. You're branded with your crime, whether it is like stealing or murder or espionage, or maybe you were framed. Who knows? Maybe you're actually a good person, and the powers that be of the kingdoms from from above, they've chained you and sent you as a traitor or whatever. They can send you down below, down into the town, the shanty town of Lowtown, aptly named. And that town is run by House Talona, of one of the great houses of above, and they manage this place as kind of a like criminal Australia, if you will, Underdark Australia, where they send all their criminals. And they have all sorts of factions, and they all try to kind of survive Underdark when there's no sun and everybody's kind of malnourished and food is hard to get and everything is trying to kill you. And the only way to kind of get by is by going into these dungeon dells and trying to go into these dungeons to find some valuables, and then you can exchange that for food or power or money or whatever it is you want. And in the case of the players, in the first, whilst they're being transferred in chains as prisoners into the Underdark, that's the first scene in the video. Their cart gets ambushed by something. It's not clear what. All the horses die, and all the the people who take them, like the cart gets flipped out, the light goes out, and you wake up kind of unconscious. You wake up fuzzy. It's total pitch black. The cart is like half destroyed. Some of the people are dead, and you can't see anything. And you don't have any of your equipment, and you're chained. So the first thing is just like you're in the dark. You don't know where you are. You just need to get to that city, which is much much closer. Like tens of miles closer, right, compared to going back up, right? Because you have no idea where you are. You just know that somewhere remotely close the city is there, this underground city, and so you're just trying to get basic equipment together and like get out of these chains and maybe find some sort of magic item focus or something like that. And then you're getting through these. The first arc is called Land of the Blind, not because you're blind, but because all the monsters in that region are not sight based. So they can hunt in the dark, and they're perfect predators, and they're these kind of monstrous ghouls that are very good at hunting in the dark.
Yeah, yeah.
So
So
that's
we've
called Land of the Blind.
seen a little bit of these.
Mm.
So these are the wolds. Is this where the wold miniatures come from?
Waldlings, yes,
Waldlings.
waldlings, yeah,
So yeah, they're
yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
these things are amazing. So I've got a bust of one of these on the print queue at the moment, and it's yeah, it looks sick. It's I don't know, it's all teeth and like say vampiric ears, and it's yeah, lush. I really like it. It's really fun.
You can go to the painted minis. You can actually see some of them better in that section. It's a bit more zoomed in. So yeah, so that's Land of the Blind. And during that first arc, the players also get in there. They disrupt this big ritual that they stumble upon by accident, of this dark ritual that's supposed to do something with one of the kind of lost deities of the place, and they get infected by this kind of disease, this kind of like eldritch disease, this kind of curse, kind of, and then it's which is called sickness. And void sickness makes you dun 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 allergic to sunlight. So even if you wanted to try to go back up there, you can't. You just need to find. There you go. I think one of those dioramas. There's a bunch of people playing with yeah, with Wolflings and stuff. Yeah, so you're allergic to sunlight. So even if you could get away from this underground underdark prison, even if you could find your way back up, you'd just die from sunlight. Literally die. So the only way is going further down, where you hear rumors that there might be a cure deep, deep, dark below. So it's basically like
Yeah,
Breaking Bad, but for fantasy, because the more you go down, it's not just the darker it is and the more powerful the monsters are and the demons and the whatever. Also, you start to slowly give parts of your soul and slowly give parts of your personality and slowly become more corrupt and slowly become more evil, maybe, depending on what path you choose. And then maybe there's a big ritual at the end, and maybe you do it, maybe you don't. It's kind of up to you. But
Yeah,
it's dark descent, not just like from darkness, but also like internal darkness, you know.
yeah. Wow. Okay,
So,
from a philosophical point of view as well. That's sick.
hmm
So it's just
yeah.
yeah. That's what, like I say, I'm a big fan of the whole world building type stuff. I think the other thing that really surprised me about the campaign as well is the, and I've touched on this a little bit already, but the physical nature of the books and stuff like that too. So
hmm
that's something. I don't, maybe that's not. I follow lots of campaigns on Kickstarter which are just sort of digital STLs, and you back the campaign, you get the digital STLs, and I can print them at home, and I'm very happy with that. 3D printers, all the rest of it. How does the fulfillment and what are the challenges wrapped around sort of like physically fulfilling stuff? Because obviously you've got the producing of the stuff, making the stuff, all the quality checking, the shipping it all out, and obviously now in with tariffs and all that sort of stuff and all that headache stuff. I mean, you've done a couple of
We
these
do have.
before.
Mm,
Do
yep.
you want to sort of run me through that sort of all the challenges around that?
Of course. You can go to the sections that says shipping and taxes.
This
That we have a
exciting
little
section,
blurb
yeah.
that super exciting section. We had like a joke image there at some point that was like, bones and blood and stuff like that, but we decided to take it out because it's like it's nearly disrespectful to do that. We were like, you get the joke kind of thing, but
Yeah, no,
I
it's
think
still
some
there.
people
It's
didn't
still
get
there.
the joke. It is still there?
It is still there. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's hilarious. Great. So basically, yeah, we okay, so wait, you asked a bunch of stuff. So how do we handle physical production? We produce like in the best place to produce that to make this project financially viable. You gotta go to China. They not only really know what they're doing because they produce all the toys of the whole world, but it makes it financially viable because if we had to produce it in the U.S., it will cost me to produce, like way too much. The margins would literally non-exist, and we couldn't make this project. It wouldn't like I would have to charge so much money to and wouldn't make any profit, and nobody would be happy. So we have to go to China for books and for dice and stuff like that, toys. But we decided not to go for boxes this time because of minimum order quantity, which is something that customers don't tend to think about.
When you say
But for
boxes, do you
example,
mean like a box with a
mm,
book and 6 miniatures and all your maps and all that sort of stuff packaged up into a nice little board game type box and
exactly,
sent out? Yeah, yeah, fine.
exactly. If you get like one of those big boxes, you need to make a minimum 500 of them, and usually you need to have different boxes for different tiers and different designs and all that stuff. And again, if you're a Kickstarter that makes millions, fine, go ahead and do that, and then you have no problem. But if you're a kind of a more smaller thing that makes, a couple of $100,000 or whatever, you find yourself in like, oh, do I make 500 boxes and throw 200 of them into the ocean? Or not the ocean, but to the recycling. But like, genuinely, you find yourself with these kind of weird leftovers forced on you by just how the manufacturing quotas are, and so we really don't like to do this kind of waste anymore, so we don't do that. Instead, we started to really think about, okay, we have a Kickstarter, we're going to make a product, and that product is going to go to the backers and to retail, and this is a fine line to hit, because how do you do that, right? How do you make sure the product is good for backers and for retail? In our case, we realized that the main thing really is the 2 books and the slipcase, and everything else is kind of like it basically comes like you'll get a box, a delivery box, and you'll have all the different things nicely wrapped, but
Sure.
it won't come into like a
It
branded
doesn't come in
box
like,
because
yeah,
it's
exactly, a
just
branded box. Yeah.
it's a lot of waste. Packaging becomes a lot more expensive. Shipping becomes more expensive, which customers hate. Taxes become more like it's not good for anyone. And for what? To have a nice box, is that really important?
No, I
Would you
completely agree
rather
with you. I mean,
pay
frankly, I tend
twenty
to take all
dollars
that sort of
more
stuff
for a
out
box? Yeah,
and then just throw the box
exactly,
away anyway. What? Just yeah.
exactly, exactly. It's novelty, and it's a nice to have, and I think that by far most people prefer to pay less and get their stuff in parts. And you still get a really nice slipcase in the books. Those come really nice, and those will sit nicely on the shelf and look really nice. The presentation, I think that we show the books a few times in the campaign. So that will be your display thing in a way, and then everything else is like dice. I mean, you're gonna use your dice.
Hmm.
Maybe I'm repeating myself, but you know what I mean. Yeah.
No, no, that's
Tariffs
perfect.
wise, tariffs wise, we managed to just kind of slip between the cracks there. We didn't get hit by tariffs too much. So and we did a bit, but we managed to just basically uh, whatever we got, we absolved it. A lot of companies kind of put it onto the backers, and I feel that's like a sour taste. Even though I get it because their margins are so small, so I get that some companies have to do it, and then they're angry at us for not doing it or something like that. The truth is, tariffs are tricky, but that's why we design this product. Like for example, most of the product that we're making is printed material, and printed material nearly doesn't get taxed at all.
Yeah.
Like books have zero tax in most places in the world, or very very low tax. So that's
Yeah,
why
I run a
and
charity
tax.
outside of this, and it's one of the things we don't pay VAT on is printed materials.
There you go. So that's why we focus on printed material, and then the minis we don't produce in China. We produce it with our UK partners, and they produce that and ship it. So we basically pre-manage the campaign so that the tariffs shouldn't, even if they go bananas, and I hope they don't, but even if they do, we shouldn't be affected too much. I don't want to make any too crazy promises, but we did plan for it.
Yeah, sure.
And I hope
That
that
makes sense.
that shows, and I hope that people appreciate and feel safer to back in this crazy economy
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
that
yeah,
we have at
exactly
the
that.
moment.
It's cool though.
Mm.
Like I say, I think it's a really great thing to be able to do because, like I say, not everyone has a 3D printer. Although I have to say, we were chatting in the stream number one about the fact you also produce things like paper miniatures as well. So it's about being able to buy in at any level, and actually, I think that's really cool too because minis are great, but actually sometimes the having a box full of grey miniatures is a massive barrier to just playing because you're like, oh, I can't play till I've painted them, and then you never paint them, they just live in a cupboard, and it's like, so just have a little paper sticky figure and just get on with it. I love it. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. We have a PDF dedicated to each of the arcs. There are 6 arcs, and you can just take the PDF and print it, and you have the exact amount of paper miniatures just ready to go. You just cut them with scissors, fold them, stick them on a coin or a little washer or something, and you have a mini that's good enough for the session. And
Perfect.
yeah, they're pretty, they're colored, they're nice. We also, I think, yeah, no, and it comes with the right amount of monsters per encounter already calculated. Like we did all that work for you. So I know it's a bit blasphemous as a miniature producer to say this, like, but I am a fan of paper minis. Shoot me, I like it.
No, me
This is why
too.
we
Me
make
too.
them. We
We used to.
we believe. Oh, sorry.
No, I was going to say we used to play BattleTech with paper miniatures, and it's literally just so it's just so and it's cheap and it's easy, and you can just play, and actually then you realise actually it doesn't really matter that much anyway. So the paint is a whole different thing.
No. Exactly. It is different. Miniatures are awesome, especially
Yeah,
for
they
the
are.
big things like a dragon. It's cool. It's very cool to have a big dragon. But hey, sometimes, life takes your time away and you still want to have that D&D session and
Yeah.
yeah. So we do both. One of our mottos is play anywhere. That's why we have VTTs, physical maps, digital maps, paper minis, 3D printing, everything. Like anywhere you want to play, we want to support that.
VTTs are virtual tabletops.
Correct,
Yeah,
exactly.
fine.
Yeah, like
Okay.
Foundry, Roll20, that sort of thing.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
want to
sure.
get into alchemy, but they're kind of hard to reach. They're kind
Okay.
of like cool. They're kind of a cool kids club, and we've asked a few times, and they're like, uh,
Yeah.
maybe later. We don't have the capacity, and I'm like, oh sure. So if we make enough money, maybe they'll pay attention. Like I like them. I really like what they do, Alchemy VDT. But yeah, a bit of a cool kids club at the moment.
Fair enough. Fair enough. So
No shade,
no, no, no,
Alchemy.
no.
We
Exactly
want
that.
we want to get it.
It's
Just like
sometimes it's just priorities, isn't it? And like I say, they're
exactly.
prioritizing bigger campaigns than you, and
We would, you
that's
know
fine.
what we would love to do if this campaign goes really well, like we make, I don't know, 500,000 or something. I don't think that's going to be the case, but if the campaign goes really well, we would love to go into D&D Beyond. That would be amazing. I don't know what the royalty deals with D&D Beyond, but honestly, I don't care. I would just love our stuff to be there. It would be so cool.
Yeah. I have to say
We've
D&D
actually
Beyond is the
been asked.
platform I use, but it's just I think it's the biggest one, isn't it? But it's just
It is the biggest one. I do use it, and it's kind of interesting because you know some of the backers already asked me like, "Is this going to be available in D&D Beyond?" And I'm like, "What am I, wizards? How do I know?"
I have
I mean,
literally no clue
it's
how that
not that
works.
easy to get.
Literally no clue.
You honestly, me neither. I'm assuming you need to reach out to them and be like, but I think they only take from a certain size.
Oh, okay.
I think. I think it's kind of like they want the user base to come. I think that's their main incentive. I don't think it's money. So I think they really want your users. So if you have a lot of users that, like for example, Crooked Moon, who made 4 million and had like thousands and are one of the biggest, D&D streams out there, they're bringing hundreds of thousands of players, or at least tens of thousands of players to the platform. So I think that's what they're interested in. But I mean,
Yeah,
they get
sure.
a chunk of, I'm
Well, that
sure,
makes
but I
sense.
don't know. I don't
I'm
know how
sure there's
much they
some way
charge.
to
It'll be
monetize
great.
thousands of users. So it's just
Exactly.
yeah.
Hopefully we get in there. That'd
I
be
hope
cool.
you do.
That'd be
Hope
very
you do
cool.
it too. Like I say, so the campaign's amazing, and you can see the effort that goes in behind it. So it's awesome. That's awesome. So that sort of neatly segues into sort of like, obviously, there's the campaigns, there's the base pledges, the base tiers, stretch goals, and sort of like what's next? What's the dream? Where do you go from? You've got the campaign, you deliver it, it crushes all comers. What next?
Great question. I mean, we definitely want to take this to retail, the books, especially the double books. Um, we make every month, we make, 25 minis and, a 50-page adventure, or setting or whatever. We do that every month anyway. So we would love to get our products, especially if this is super successful. That means we can make a lot of retail versions and then just go and get it into stores. That's why we also have a retail tier, which only a few people bought, but that's where we're going. We are going to Spiel this year, actually at the end of this month,
Yeah, I was gonna
exactly
say
as
that's
we're
coming up
ending the
soon, isn't it?
Kickstarter.
That's,
No. We're ending the Kickstarter on the 27th, which is a day after Spiel. So throughout Spiel will be the last, whatever, 72 hours.
oh wow, it's almost as if you planned it.
Uh, it's almost as if we did, and that would be really great to end, after getting all these people from Spiel and hopefully having some mock-ups or some prototype to show and getting people to back. That'd be awesome. And we will be selling our last Kickstarter, which we have a bunch of stock from, as well. Um, for those who are listening, still listening, there is also an all Kickstarters tier, which we're very proud of. Which basically, if you don't know anything about us and you love what we do, you can get all 3 Kickstarters for like $400 at the moment, which is nothing. It's like 530 STLs and 3 hardcover books, plus the all-in tier from this campaign, all for $400. It's crazy cheap.
Yeah, that's amazing.
So there is that tier as well for those who want to jump on it.
Yeah, some of the
What
models
else?
from the
Yeah.
original campaign, the Chronicles campaign, are still some of my favourites. The what's the sort of the warrior lady holding an axe. She's
An axe. Brianna.
yeah, Brianna. Yeah, she's
Brinna? Oh, Brinna. Brinna.
Yeah, that one
Yeah.
anyway. Really lovely.
She's
really cool.
badass. Yeah, she's a badass. Yeah, it was fun times then. We have changed our minis more. They're much safer now, and they still have a lot of character. I mean, maybe it would be a cool idea to like show a bit of our Patreon. I don't know if you can jump
Can I
to
show
the
you a
tribe
Patreon?
page.
Yeah,
Just to
probably.
show.
Let's,
Either Patreon or tribes, whatever,
let me see what I
whatever,
can do.
either. Or just go on Instagram. I mean, whatever. Would be cool to show.
I'll tell you what. Actually, let me just jump onto this is
Tribes
the store. So it's just
yeah.
that's the tribe, isn't it? So
Yep. No. So the tribe's up. Yeah, exactly.
yeah. So it'll shift over there in just a second. Oh, yeah, it is on the tribe anyway. I promise it is on the tribe. So it's just
Nice. Yep. Yeah, so there's a bunch of stuff there. I mean, I think we made one of our biggest minis yet this month. It's a 150 mil base Tarrasque. It's really cool.
God.
It's a
Sounds
fantastic. It's this kind of, we did like a null set that has like bullets and Tarrasque. It's very cool.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
look at
amazing.
that.
That's,
Got a
so you've got
nice big number.
on the tribe, you've got like a what you've got the $1 tier, which is like you get a new character each month. You got the $10 tier, which is
just the miniatures.
That's
Basically.
just the miniatures, okay. And then you've got $13, $14, which is the D&D, which is the PDFs
Exactly.
as well. Yeah, fine. So,
exactly. PDF, battle maps, magic items, paper minis, all of that. That's an extra $4.
Yeah. That's sick. Like I say, I'm a big fan of your models. The thing I like about your models is there's lots going on with them, lots of character, but also they're quite easy to paint. There's lots of volumes on the miniatures. There's lots of interesting, personality, but there's not so much detail. It just becomes just impossible to paint. It's just I like them.
Exactly.
I like them a lot. I'm a big fan of the busts, so I'm please carry on making the bust versions of your models.
Every month, 2 busts.
Yeah.
No sweat. Definitely. Nice. Well, is there anything else left in the interview, or I don't remember what we talked about.
We talked last time about a very quick overview of the factions, but it's just
yes.
So we've done let's do a quick whiz over that, and then I think we're there.
We'll do a quick whiz.
Having lost the factions, there we are.
There we go.
Oh.
Nice. So the first faction is Land of the Blind, which we've covered, I think, quite thoroughly. It's a bunch of waldling and eyeless monsters that are, they hunt in the dark. That they're great. The second faction is called Mark of the Beast, and you go and you fight a bunch of beastmen, and there's a bunch of really interesting terrain and rivers and the savage witch and demonic magic. Then you have the third set is Burning Dead, which is basically like a mega dungeon. Remnants of the Anak Empire, and there's a lot of ancient secrets and lore, and it's kind of trying to solve the mystery of why the Anak Empire burnt out and died, which isn't clearly explained. I mean, it is if you dig deep enough, but it's kind of like lore for the sake of lore in some ways. We really try to make the story grounded in the lore, but not everything. It's hard to unless you do some of the rituals. It's kind of
you can always come back to it then, can't you?
Yeah, exactly. There's some mysteries that Daniel knows, but he didn't even put in the book, and I'm like,
so Daniel's the guy who has been writing this for the past 15 years.
Exactly, Daniel is the head writer and definitely the main writer and author of this book, and and he even wanted to keep some things away from the DMs, and I'm like, what are you doing? Like the DMs need to know, and he was like, no, some things are better left unexplained, but he knows them. But no, wow. So we found a good compromise in the end for that. Like it goes real deep, and so then
Coils Dread.
Cause of Dread is basically an homage to UNTs, but we have our own flavor of it where they do cloning, and there's a bunch of espionage in Lowtown, and they imitate people and try to grab power in a different way. And then you have the next one, which is Court of the Sunless King. It's one of my favorites. It has
this is
very
it's got one of my favorite models in this one. The sort of the Dark Elf Warrior. Oh, it's really good.
Yes. In that set we have
that's coming on the Patreon as well, so it's just that'll be a fun one for people who are still on the chat.
Yep.
So hello chat.
Yeah. Oh, that's nice, Kitty. You should definitely play an RPG again for sure. Kitty is somebody in the chat. Just
I know.
You Kitty. That'd be hilarious. And
just
then
talking to your cat, it's just slowly gone mad.
Exactly. Court of the Sunless King is a really interesting take on our version of Dark Elves. They're not, dark-skinned. They're pale, and they fell out of grace with the elven god of this world, and they lost their immortality. So they're trying through dark rituals to try to regain their immortality. They have slightly a vampiric vibe, but not exactly, and kind of interesting actually. The elves that fall out of grace from that faction, when they lose their mind because they become cannibalistic and stuff like that, they become the waldlings from the first set. So it all kind of ties in together.
Nice.
And then the last collection is
Disciples of Darkness.
Disciples of Darkness. Thank you. And that's like the BBEG. You infiltrate their base camp, and you find all these dark rituals they're doing. You enter from the dark door, the kind of like this magical back door that you find, and like you enter, and there's like this whole um, kind of cavern, which is like their basement basically, and it's just a layer of like 1 meter of blood, and you're just walking through blood. It's fucking blood and bones and skulls, piles of skulls. They're doing this big blood ritual. It's a epic. There's a bunch of cultists there and demons, and it's fantastic. And there's an awesome a 3-layer fight where you have like 3 different maps, but at some point the floor collapses and you're fighting on 3 different maps at the same time. It's so cool when you see those maps. It's amazing. Um, and what else?
And
Yes,
there's
and then the
Deep Hold,
last
isn't there?
one is called Deep Hold, and Deep Hold is a bunch of side quests and NPCs, and basically the kind of like governing body called House Talona. It's basically like the guards of the town that are people from the surface who still monitor and kind of manage all these exiles, but they don't really care if you're doing, illegal stuff because everybody is criminal. Everybody's a criminal here. They're actually kind of greedy and corrupt, and kind of some of them. Yeah.
Yeah, so I've printed
So yeah,
the Norox, which is is it going to
the
focus on?
Goroks, you mean?
Yeah, that one. Yep. So
Yeah,
I've
and they're
printed him.
four-eyed. Yeah.
Yeah, he's really cool. And I've printed Small Jed, who is I think ironically named.
Yeah, of course, absolutely. He's a big fatso, and he's great.
So I'm looking for. I might even get some paint on him at some point, but it's just there.
Look at that little Gork. He's so cute.
He is cute. Yeah,
Very
exactly that. So yeah, I'm big fan. Big fan. It's really cool. And like I say, I'm really grateful that you supported my Patreon for as long as you have, and I just really hope you have all the best success and absolutely crush it, frankly. So yeah.
Nice.
75,471. That's what you're on at the moment. So it's just
I think it's just over 100K. So
just
yeah,
over
go
100K.
back and campaign.
620
Go
backers.
back and campaign. Helps us, bring things to the world, and
Yeah. Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
No, thank you, man. Thank you. So it's I am going to end it there, chat, and I'm going to switch to stream ended, my fancy little thing. So I'm going to use that every now and again.